Today's video is going to be my eyeshadow palette recap for October. In this series, I just show you all the palettes that I used in the previous month and pictures of the makeup looks. I like to do this so I can keep track of what palettes I'm using, and I think it's just fun to share the looks as well. A few of the looks I did film, so you can check those out. That would be in the makeup looks playlist, and I have a lot of eyeshadow palette related videos, and I do a lot of shop my stash type videos as well. So please subscribe if you have not. I do upload 4 videos a week, and let's get started. In my project 10 uses, I had this Chanel quad, and this is the one in 362. I really enjoy this one. I think it is beautiful. I did use it several other times in addition to this full look that I show you, where I just use like these on the lower lash line or something like that. And as you can see, I did use the sponge tip applicators. They're not bad. Did I need them there? No, but they do work. I really like this formula. I think the Chanel formula is very beautiful. It is smooth. It's not super like metallic or crazy pigmented, but I think it looks really flattering on the eyes. So I think for people who don't want like really metallic shadows and they want something smooth and easy to blend, I actually do think that the Chanel ones are pretty good. Alrighty, the Poison Apple palette, and this look I did wear in a couple videos. This is by Unearthly Cosmetics. This palette is amazing. This like duochrome here, stunning. This green, absolutely gorgeous. I think the mattes and the metallics are amazing. This palette is so good. Indie brands really have some good quality, and this is definitely one of them. I think it is great. In my Shop My Stash earlier in October, I did have the Natasha Denona Zendo palette, and I did several looks with this one. One of my favorites was the all blue look, like using all of these. I love how that turned out. I thought it was lovely, and I used this several other times as well. Zendo is a good one. I really enjoy it. It's a great palette. A newer one to my collection, Huda Beauty Empowered palette. I did buy this one in October, and I did do a get ready with me with one of the looks that I did, the one that was the more gold look. And I did use it other times as well. Sometimes I don't have time to take a picture of my makeup, but I try to take a picture of my makeup most days. And some of these looks were looks that I wore to work. So it's like I'm in a hurry trying to take a picture in my bathroom before I leave. You get it. But the look that I didn't film with this, but I have a photo of, it is so gorgeous. This purpley shade is really nice. I love this palette. I really do. I've recommended it in my Sephora sale video and my best palettes at Sephora video. This is a really good palette. I'm very happy that I purchased it. An older palette that I pulled out this month was the Colourpop So Jaded. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I did use it twice. I did a purple look that I thought was really pretty. Used this one all over the lid, and then some of the mattes in the crease. And then I did a more neutral look that I thought was really beautiful as well. And as a topper shade, I did use this Super Shock Shadow, which I don't tend to use the Super Shock Shadows when they're in palettes, you know, but this one's actually really pretty. I have to say, this is still one of my favorite palettes in my collection. It's definitely getting older, but it's amazing. This color story is just unreal. And this shade Emerald is one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. So is Peridot. I want to do a look with that maybe at some point, but I had so much fun using this palette. I'm very happy that I used it. Another new palette from the month of October was the Hocus Pocus palette All Hallows Eve. And I did film a get ready with me with this one as well, so you can check that out. I also did a green look that I loved. I got a lot of compliments on that one in real life. This green shade is stunning. This is a beautiful palette. I am so happy that I purchased it. And they have this newer formula here and here. They're pearlescent shadows, but they're not pressed glitters, but they're very sparkly. They're really, really pretty. So they have this formula in this palette and another newer palette that I will show you as well. So yes, I did purchase that palette in the last month and it's amazing. These are kind of all over the place here. Back to an older palette. This one was in my shop, my stash. So I'll show the looks in that video too. I think that one's already up. So you may have seen these looks already. Absolutely beautiful. This matte orange is stunning. These metallics here, gorgeous. I did a really fun look where I used the green and then I used this on top to make it a lighter green. Wow. I loved this palette so much. I'm really glad that I pulled it out. Wow. And the metallics from Juvia's Place are stunning. So foiled, love them. That was a good one. Also, I wore the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette, and I did two different looks that were very like orangey warm tone looks. I didn't use the green, I should have. But I really, really enjoyed this one. Honestly, this is like a perfect fall palette if you love warm tones. This formula is exceptional. I really, really enjoy it. So this palette is amazing. And then the eye look that I was wearing in my Sephora sale haul was a really fun one with blue and green. And so I used a combination of some of these shadows from Coastal Scents. They are discontinued. I'm pretty sure this one is indigo, and I did for sure use Python green. And then the other metallics were shades from Terra Moons. I love how this look turned out. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So happy that I used single shadows. I tend to neglect my single shadows. I'm trying to do at least one look with single shadows per month. I don't think I've been successful at that, but this month I did it, so that's awesome. These Coastal Scents shadows are very old in my collection. Some of the oldest eyeshadows I still have. I think the oldest ones in here I bought, I think in 2016, but they still work, so I am still using them. Alrighty, some more neutral looks that I did with the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I love this one. This is one of my favorites in my collection. It's a go-to, and it's also in my Project 100 uses. So I tried to pull this out as well for like lower lash line and that sort of thing. And today my inner corner highlight is actually from this palette because I am absolutely obsessed with this shade, and this shade as inner corner highlight. They are absolutely beautiful. So that one's amazing. This one I only used once, but it is the Natasha Denona bronze palette. I really tried to use a lot of Natasha Denona this month, so I maybe need to take like a small Natasha Denona break for a while, although I bought the My Dream palette at the Sephora sales, so you know, I've used it only twice so far, but I really like it. Yes, I love the bronze palette and I love this look. I like how this pulls red and orange. I really like that about this palette. So if you like those undertones, that one is a winner. And I did also wear the Biba palette a couple times. It's a stunner. I love this one. I really love the shade. This reddish brown over here called Pasha. Oh my gosh. It is so gorgeous. And then this like bronze brown metallic over here, one of my favorites. So loved that. I did get these two palettes in PR from Colourpop in October. And so I did use these a couple of times. I did a look where I wore pretty much like over half the palette, and I love this one. I didn't even say what this is. This is the Fairy Well palette. So they have this new Enchanted collection, and they sent me the collection in PR, and I have to say it is very beautiful. This one is lovely, and this also has that pearlescent formula that I mentioned from the new Hocus Pocus palette. And then the purple one, which is amazing. I did film a look with this. It was a get ready with me, and I used other things from the Enchanted collection. That was my monthly low buy update. So you can check that out. Oh my gosh, the purples. This palette is amazing. If you want an amazing, high quality, beautiful purple palette and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I highly recommend this one. And there are no pressed glitters in either of these. I'm so happy about that. I'm really hoping that they're just like done with pressed glitters because I think a lot of us aren't into them. Like I said, I used a lot of Natasha Denona this month, and I decided to pull out my two most expensive palettes that I had not used in quite a while. The Natasha Denona Purple Blue palette, and I really enjoyed it. It's a stunner. It really is. There is something special about the formula in these two palettes of hers. I think that they are a bit smoother and a bit more sparkly than some of her other palettes. I mean, I still love her other palettes, but there is something special about these palettes, or at least that's what I'm telling myself, because I spent over $300 on the two of these. I got them in a bundle. I bought these in 2020. Yeah, they're real pricey. They really are. But you know what? I have them, so I better use them. Really happy I pulled them out. I've hardly worn those this year, which is really pathetic. And then green brown. You can just see like the sparkle in this look. I'm pretty sure this is the shade I wore all over the lid. It's just gorgeous. It really is. I mean, wow. I do have a few get ready with me's on this palette. They're older videos. Again, makeup looks playlist. That's where you can find those. But yeah, that palette is amazing. All right, and then another older palette I pulled out, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And I gotta say, I enjoyed this one. I did a few other looks with this palette that I just did some easy, like all brown ones that I don't have pictures of. But the one I do have a photo of, using a bunch of these mattes and then this coppery shade. I still think the formula on this palette is exceptional, so I keep that one around. And then I did put a few of the shades from the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes just like in the center for that extra sparkle. And actually today I am wearing this palette as well. I am wearing the Natasha Denona Mini Glam, and then I put the shade Meditate and Opal Aura just like in the center for added sparkle, and it kind of is like giving me a bit of duochrome vibes because I have like the greenish shade from the Mini Glam and then these on top, and I love it. It's so funny because this palette was in my Shop My Stash in September, and I had said before that I just didn't use it a whole lot. Well, now I freaking love this thing and I pull it out whenever I can. I think it's amazing as topper shades. So those were the October makeup looks and the palettes I used. I'm really happy with the variety of palettes that I used this last month because I used higher end, more affordable. I used some really old stuff that I've had for a long time, like the Jaclyn Hill palette and my older Natasha Denona palettes, the Coastal Scents Hot Pots. So I'm very happy about that. And I also did use some new ones that I purchased myself and then two that I got in PR. So that is it for this video. If you want to see more eyeshadow palette related videos, check out the eyeshadow palette playlist. And like I said, I did film some of these looks as well. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.